everybody. Welcome to DSD Thunder's Thursday Hangouts. Slightly later than normal, 7:30 in the evening. It's nearly my bedtime. I'm under pressure here because not only are we live to all the DSD Thunder group, but we're also live to the Freedom Fighters group. And also, I've heard a rumor that Kenya is watching, so I bow in front of Kenya. And also, for the first time on these Hangouts, I've got the wife. So be aware, the wife is here. So only say nice things, please. Okay. So with us today, we've got Sandra, as my wife, and my sidekick. Also got Chrissy, who is a bit like my mum. She's been looking after me and pointing me in the right direction for the last 3 years. God knows how she managed to achieve that. And we have Tom, who's a leading figure now in DSD Thunder. And so what I want to do is I want to talk to Tom first. And what we're going to do is we're going to explain to people that haven't watched this before how we got involved in DSD, the impact it's had, and basically what a difference, if any, that it's making. Tom, over to you.
Thanks, Steve. So I started with DSD back in June as of last year. So I've been doing it now pretty much just over 12 months. Prior to that, I've pretty much done what felt like every network marketing company there was out there, and never made a dime at all on anything. So for me, as soon as somebody popped up with the DSD link on Facebook, I kind of blanked it to start with. However, how cheap it is, and to get started, I pretty much just kind of jumped on board straight away after several questions. And pretty much after watching the training, I got my first item listed. Within 12 hours, I sold my first item, and pretty much it kind of went from there, really. I just grew and grew and grew. Within the first month, I decided to jump on the affiliate side, purely because I knew it worked. And unlike any of the other network marketing companies, I was making money. And for me, if I'm making money, then I have the confidence in order to sell it. And so my team's grown, I've grown. And over the whole year, it's just gone mad, and I absolutely love it. I've since bought the Monopoly package, and so now I sell eBay UK, eBay America. I have my affiliate team, and also my Amazon business. I also do FBA, so I have my own items shipped into Amazon as well. So there's so many different streams of income that you can get from building up on the whole DSD thing. And for me, you know, my life has changed for the better. The money that I'm making from DS, it's managed. I've bought my new car. I'm going skiing at Christmas time. I'm going to Florida next year. So for me, DSD is the way forward, and if there's anybody out there that's on the fence or not quite sure what to do, just jump on board. At the end of the day, it's $20, and you know, things don't work out, it's easy enough to cancel, but I can guarantee that the only way is up.
So it sounds like DS Domination is an absolute load of rubbish for you then.
It is, really, to be honest with you. It takes up so much of my time, and I haven't got time to do anything else.
That's brilliant. I mean, I hear all the stories, as I'm sure you do, because you're an affiliate, but you hear all the stories from people that haven't joined or think it's a scam. It just amazes me. I remember reading 2 or 3 weeks ago an item from Roger Langill, who, as for people that don't know, he's the person that created DS Domination. And he said that somebody was trying to promote DSD and getting people to comment on how positive it was. And he actually come on and said, and I have to say it was a good point, that if you have to basically go overboard and convince somebody to part with $20, then no point, because if you can't part with $20 to try something out, then it's a case of leave them alone and move on to the next person who'll probably appreciate it a lot more. I mean, what's your view on that?
For me, you know, it's what, £14, which, you know, is not, you know, to some people, yeah, maybe a lot of money, but to the majority of us in the UK, it's not a massive load of money compared to if you start seeing the results of how much you can potentially make. But, you know, if people are going to jump about the bush and this, that, and all the rest of it, you know, it's not something that you're not being tied into. You're not being tied into a contract or anything like that. You know, I've got a few guys on my team who, you know, they've jumped on, they've had it for 2 months, and just things for, you know, personal reasons, it's just not worked out for them, and they've cancelled it. But I've also got some others that have also done exactly the same, but they've also come back, you know, 6 months later, and they've rejoined my team and said, you know, now it's time for me to get going.
Yeah, I mean, by coincidence, we've had 2 approaches today from people that were members, left, and now want to come back. I think as well, you're quite right that circumstances change. So, for instance, if you're a mum or a mum with a newborn, then your time that you can allocate to DS changes. But the beauty I like about it is that it pretty much caters for everybody, whether you're full-time employment, a mum, single mum, student, retired. It pretty well caters for everybody. And there's no strict rules about how many hours you should put in, but it's like any business. The more time you can allocate to the business, the more successful and the more income you will get. But some people are happy with £50 a month extra. Some, like us, want it to turn it into a full-time income. So you know, your needs change or are different. So what's your plans for the future then, Tom?
Eventually, I'd love to give up full-time work. I work in hospitality, so hours are tight. So when I'm working, you know, kind of just come out of the summer, so working, you know, 50, 60-hour weeks, plus trying to do DS on the top of that, is tough going. So my overall aim is to jack in work altogether, but kind of the first step to get there is kind of go part-time and then jack it in.
It's all right, I lost my mic button then, apologies. That's brilliant. I mean, so from my point of view, I mean, I'm doing it, I wouldn't say full-time, because I'm certainly not doing 40 hours a week, probably nearer 20. But it's been, and Sandra's going to explain, it's been a bit of a game changer to us. So, Chrissy, over to you. Now, Chrissy, as I said at the beginning, I regard her as my mother, because she introduced me to DSD, kicking and screaming, I have to say, at the beginning, because I was very, very sceptical. But Chrissy, what's your background and how did you get involved?
Well, hi everyone, and I'm the opposite to Tom, who's short of time, because I'm retired. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, yeah.
I'm retired, so in a way I'm time rich and could spend a lot more time than I do on DSD, but once it's set up, it's quite smooth running, you know, once you've got your listings up and everything. So those people who are afraid that it's going to take up too much time, I wouldn't worry about that. I came across it, I watched it for about 2 months because I was involved with another network marketing company, which is how I met Steve. And although that didn't work out for Steve, I'm still involved with them. But I concentrate all the time on DSD now because that is the only one that's made me serious money over the years. And so I watched it for 2 months, joined in January 2014. I'd never sold on eBay before. My daughter had to show me what to do. I had no idea how to do a listing, nothing. So it was a bit of a disastrous first month. I sold about 9 things, and I think 4 were either the wrong price or had to be returned. So I made about £18. But I believed in the concept, and I think I fell for the charm of that Roger Langill, who has now left, unfortunately. But he did have a certain something, and the idea was so simple. I knew it could work. So I persevered, and by month 3, I was earning about £400 a month. And then I was also in the affiliate side, so started spreading the word and had wonderful team members like Steve and a few others who were good recruiters. So my team grew and grew and grew. I've been able to take my children and grandchildren away for 2 holidays each summer, paid for completely by the profits of DS Domination. I'm just having my bathroom replaced, which will be about £5,000 or £6,000, and I couldn't have done that, you know, without the income from DS Domination. But I'd like to say to new people, don't hold back. Don't be afraid like I was. I still don't list in America because I'm pathetic. I list in the UK only. I didn't mind the affiliate side because I was used to recruiting, and I enjoyed that, meeting new people and speaking to them. But even the global shipping, I only joined last week, and I had my first sale yesterday. So don't be a scaredy cat like me. You know, plunge in like Tom and get going. I have brought Elite and Monopoly, but I still haven't sold yet on Amazon. So hold my hand up. I'm not a good example in a way, but I just want to say a massive thank you to Steve, because he set up this Thunder group in the UK, and it's like being involved in a family because we all help each other, and it's really, really good to know that there's somebody on the end of the phone or on the internet anytime you need help. And we work cross teams. Each team, you know, helps everyone else. We're not cutthroat like some MLMs are. And all I can say is, you know, I would have been bored silly, I think, even though I brought up 2 children. I've got 3 grandchildren. If I hadn't been able to use my mind, which, you know, DSD does challenge you at times, and I would say try and be organised, because that really is important to make sure that you're on top of everything, your listings, your prices, your stock levels. You know, I'm still a paper and pencil girl. I write everything down. Every order that comes through I write down. I have a running total of the profit. You know, I do keep on top of things, and I think that you should be aware that you do need to be, you know, a little bit organised. But apart from that, I really... The only downsides are, you know, sometimes you get the awkward customer, or you get, you know, it can be stressful if you get an order and it's gone out of stock, which it does. But I'm a worrier. You know, Steve's always saying to me, well, there is a solution for every problem, and you've just got to be aware that no business is 100% perfect, but this is pretty near it. I was a shy retiring librarian, believe it or not, until I had to give up work through ill health, and I never thought I'd work again. But I love it. I love it, and you know, my heart is, you know, firmly with DS Domination. And would you like me to say anything else? I don't know.
I mean, what I was going to say was, I mean, you touched on it just now, was that DSD Thunder is a family affair, and I would agree with that, and that was our aim right from the beginning. So I'm glad that, well, nearly a year later, it's still being viewed that way. But you are going to come up against problems. Do you find that you and members of your team get assistance and help through DSD Thunder, or not?
Definitely. I mean, just asking a question, you get answers almost right away on the team. So yes, I think so, 100%. You get, constant support. And I tell all my team never to worry if they want to, they message me on Facebook or they send me a text or I ring them. I want to be available for people. And not everybody's able to do that who has to work. I do understand that. But, I'm available, and you pretty much are always around. You and Sandra helping people, aren't you?
I think DSD Thunder has evolved, and I think we've now got a core group. Tom and yourself are 2 out of probably 5 within the group that I lean on when it comes to helping us run the group. So it's I think the group is good. We seem to have expanded from immediate DSD people to co-opted people. I know Tom, for instance, is co-opted in from another team. We seem to be getting others from other teams, and there's talk that any UK freedom fighter members will get automatic entrance into DSD Thunder, which is nice. It's we're growing, but we're still keeping control, if that's the right word, of the ethics of the group, which is important. I mean, we know of other groups within DSD that have really gone off the rails and become a moaning shop. When we set DSD Thunder up, it was with the sole aim that we will not do that. It will be a group that will help each other and support each other. And I'm hoping that 12 months down the line we're still able to do that. Is that your experience?
I hope when you move to Portugal that you will still be able to be around. I can't see why not, because Annalise is in Lanzarote and she's always around, isn't she? So
try and stop us, Chrissy.
Yeah.
Try and stop us. Of course we're still going to be around. It's just that we will be rubbing it in by sitting on the patio in the sunshine.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean there is no way we're walking away from this. I mean it's well documented the effect that DSD has had on us. And with that, if I want to, I've been elbowed in the side of the ribs here because I'm being told that it's the wife's turn. Okay. I did say to Tom that I was really hoping for a split screen here so I could actually remove Sandra from the screen, but unfortunately I haven't got that technology. So if I can hand over to Sandra.
Hi everybody. First time for me for doing one of these hangouts because I'm normally at work, because I don't know whether you know, but I do work full time as well as promote DS Domination every evening when I get in. DSD for us, we joined just after Chrissy, so February 14. Very, very sceptical. Got ourselves up and running. We had been 3 years ago in dire straits where we nearly lost our home because of silly mistakes we'd made. I'd been made redundant. Steve was coming out of a breakdown. We just needed something to give us a bit of a boost, and DSD gave us that boost. When we'd had our first listings, we sat back and waited and waited. Then we had our first sale, and Steve may correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our first profit was 6p. Yeah. On our first sale. Our first month ended up at £91, and month on month since then it's grown. Now, I mentioned how we were 3 years ago. Last week we were very lucky and fortunate, due to DSD and the money that we have made, we have now become totally debt free. We paid everything off last week, and now we've had our house valued to be moving to Portugal and running this business from there, and that has been all through DSD, and it's changed us dramatically. We now go out and not have to worry about robbing Peter to pay Paul. because it got to the stage where Peter was broke as well as Paul, and now I just rob Steve when we go shopping. But on a serious note, for any of you people out there that are hesitating, just joining, stick with it. It is incredible. It is easy. I don't do much of the selling. I can put my hands up to that. I leave that down to the boss. But I do the promoting side of it to try and build the team. And I get the kickbacks, but kickbacks at first when you're trying to build a team knocks you back because you think, why aren't you joining? It's so easy. But for every one that doesn't join, you'll get another one to join. And then it could be another 4 before you get someone that's going to join in. But the support that all of us as a family try and give to each other is second to none. You know, I'm at work, but I'm constantly checking my phone if people have messaged me and they want to join. But I want to be doing this recruiting full time, and that's what I shall be doing from that terrace when we get there, which, looking at the moment, is possibly early next year for us.
Yeah.
So within 3 years of starting DSD, our life is so different. But just to anybody, jump on. As Tom said, $20 gets your pizza for tomorrow night's tea. Pays for it. Give it a go. Nothing to lose.
I have to say that this week has just been
Excuse me.
a whirlwind. Last week we got the news that we were now debt-free, and we deliberately took the weekend to digest that information because that is some achievement for which we're both proud, although we put ourselves in that bad position 3 years ago, but we are both proud that we managed to work through it and become debt-free early. But this week, it's I feel like we shouldn't have a for sale sign outside our house. We should have a hotel sign because we've had nothing but visits from estate agents and cleaners and God knows what else in preparation for selling. I have to say I hate it. I hate people, strangers coming into the house. So when it comes to viewing the house, I think the other boss will be the one that be supervising that and using a charm rather than a grumpy old sod like me. I'll be taking the dog for a walk. But it's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Thanks.
What I want to touch on now is for people that have already joined, I mean, Chrissy's already mentioned it, that you will come up against problems every now and again. And if you do have problems, then please put the question on DSD Thunder. And for those of you watching from Freedom Fighters, obviously put the question on your own group, because somebody somewhere within that group will have come across this same problem and will be able to answer it very quickly. A problem that I had yesterday was that I sold a garden box for garden tools, cushions, whatever, and it duly arrived on time, but the customer didn't want it, and I tried to encourage her to accept it by giving her a partial refund, but the bottom line was she wasn't going to have it, and I fully expected a negative feedback from this because she felt that the box wasn't sturdy enough, etc. So we arranged for the item to be returned to us. And yesterday, was it yesterday we were in B&Q? Or day before?
Day before.
Day before yesterday we were in B&Q, which for those of you in America is the equivalent of the depot. And we're looking around for something completely different, and I happened to notice that they had these garden boxes for sale. So I contacted the buyer of my garden box and told her to have a look at B&Q because they're doing some good sturdy boxes at very reasonable price. This woman turned from being extremely angry and disappointed with the product to being extremely pleased and gave us a positive feedback today, which usually when an item is returned, that's not always guaranteed. So I think the moral of the story, in a long-winded way, is try and be pleasant, you know, and you will hopefully turn something around. It's like anything dealing with the public. I know from my police days, you've got somebody shouting and screaming in your face. It's very difficult to stay calm and stay pleasant. But if you do, then you can diffuse the situation a lot easier. Women are much better at this than men, and that's not being sexist. It's just women have a more calmer nature, and are able to calm things down. But I say that except for the wife. But generally, you know, women can calm a situation down. Guys go in, you know, like a bull in a china shop and meet it head on, whatever the problem is. But on this occasion, I used my wit and my charm, and despite that, I managed to calm her down. So, you know, I got a positive feedback out of it. So, you know, don't think automatically if you have an item returned or there's a problem with your item that you're going to get a negative feedback. Talk to the customer, open up some dialogue, and then you'll be surprised. If they think you're going that extra mile to help them, then, you know, so be it. And I've now got a garden box in my shed, so if anybody wants to buy one, I can offer them a good deal. So Tom, is there anything else you want to say, mate?
No, I don't think so. Just you pretty much covered everything, really. I'm problem king at the moment because I just seem to have problem after problem after problem, and hey ho, if I hadn't have known the successes that I've achieved in the last year, I probably would have knocked it on the head by now. But yeah, you know, it's there's more highs than there are lows, put it that way. And no, DSD is what I want to do, and pushing forward with it. And that's the beauty of it, is, you know, it's literally down to you compared to other network marketing companies that are out there. If you're prepared to put the hours and the hard work in, then you're going to get rewarded for it. And there's always something more that you can learn in order to kind of move up the stages, as it were. But time is always against me, and that's a bit of a bugger. But I love DSD. That's pretty much it, Steve.
Checks in the post, mate. Chrissy, anything you want to say to sort of finish things off?
Only to add that from next February we won't be quite so under the blackmail threat as regards feedback, because it will no longer be included in the points, you know, against us. So it will make our life even easier from then. But no, I had somebody try this week to say that they hadn't received a desk, which was, you know, dispatched the day after they had ordered it and signed for and everything. And they messaged me about 3 days later saying, when will this desk arrive? But, you know, miraculously, after sending proof of the signatures of the people, you know, and the neighbours next door, it suddenly turned up, this desk. So, you know, things do, if you're a worrier, things could, you know, get you down, but there is always a solution. And anybody out there that is at home worrying, don't worry. Either ask in the group, or contact your sponsor, or contact any one of us. We're all here to help, aren't we?
Most definitely. I just want to promote next week's Hangout. Next week's Hangout is with Skip Foster. I've mentioned it a couple of times in the lead up to this. Skip is a member of Freedom Fighters, and he's coming on to DSD Thunder's Hangout next Thursday afternoon. And we are having a joint DSD Thunder and Freedom Fighters Hangout on the 5th of October. UK time will be 8 PM. Obviously, I'll promote it a bit nearer the time. I'm not sure what time that is in Eastern time. I think it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I'm sure that Kenya will put us straight on that one. The other thing is, for all of you in Freedom Fighters, as Kenya is Queen, please could you write a decent report, because she will write a school report about me. So please say nice things on Freedom Fighters because otherwise I'll end up in detention and then I'm in big trouble again with Kenya.
And me.
And the wife. So on behalf of Tom, Chrissy, Sandra and myself, have a great evening. Hope you have fantastic sales over the weekend. And from me, goodbye. Tom?
Cheers, Steve. Sorry, I was on mute.
I knew I'd get you. Chrissy?
Yes, goodbye and thank you.
Okay, cheers everybody. Take care. Have a good weekend.
Bye.